somebody in your car, in a house, on the highway. Jonesy in the flyway. Turn your volume up, it's a party. You can do it again and again. Come on in, tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's get it moving like, hey. What up, Jonesy? Hey, what a way to start the day. Go and say hi, she on her life. She tooling. Mouth too slick, too slick, too slick. Hey, Jonesy, Jonesy in the morning. Got you lit, let's take from it. Let's give it ice. It's Jonesy in the morning. Jonesy in the morning. With shade and laughter, shade and laughter me. Na 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 na. In the morning.
Yeah. Good morning, my love. Good morning, Jonesy.
They are eating you up in the comments. Everybody appreciates you. They respect what you've done, what you're still doing, and how you made it out. You took it out the mud.
I appreciate that. Good morning to everybody that's on the live. It feels good to getting up in the morning and coming on Miss Jones live and hear Miss Jones tell me she loved me, and then all the nice comments. I said, this is a good start to my day.
And then we go right into the fuck shit with T.I. and 50.
Fact. Well, first of all, let me say this, because I love to come up and talk my shit. So we definitely going to schedule a time for me to come up, cam up, so that people could actually see me. And I'm excited to come on your show and be able to rock with you on this live show. Because I like to talk my shit too, Miss Jones.
Yes. And listen, I've been watching you move around, and I feel like, did you ever feel, and this is just, I don't want to get into a full interview, but did you ever feel throughout the years that you went through, all that you went through, and maybe you couldn't tell the world what exactly you had endured while being in that institution, right, of Bad Boy, but you knew that once somebody found out what y'all really was all going through, that you could be free and you could move forward and you could be appreciated and honored and loved as you were supposed to?
Absolutely. Like, a lot of people don't understand, because if they wasn't there, you won't get it. But there was a time where it was gatekeeping. There was people in position that could actually push a button and shut you down. So definitely for years, I couldn't talk, not to the public, maybe to a friend of mine or somebody like that, but they can't really understand it. People don't know. It's like the bully, somebody standing up to the bully, and then everybody is like, yeah, we're going to jump you. And, that's just what it is, really. And so definitely, I'm excited that I'm at this stage in my life. I'm still here. I'm still alive to be able to tell my story, the good and the bad, because for me, it wasn't all bad. I'd be captain to say that it was all bad. But it's pros and cons to everything, and I'm happy that I get a chance to tell it.
Wow. We're happy that we're going to get a chance to hear it. And I'm happy that you made it through, because some of your counterparts, they rebounded in other areas. Do you ever speak to any of the other band members, even not from your show, but maybe from the boys?
I speak to everybody from my group. Shout out to the band, BABAND, right? I'm the glue. I will say that. Even when they not talking to each other, I speak to everybody. I'm definitely in contact with members of Danny Became and Day 26. Shout out to Aubrey. That's my YT sis. And, I'm in contact with them. I like to say we still a unit. Making the band was a franchise. So one group went through something, the next group, and then the next group. But I will say I'm the glue, kind of like the mom. And I'm the only one from my group that speak to any of the members from Danny Became and Day 26.
Wow, that's important. That means that not only are we looking at you like you are the mama bear, but they hold you in that type of regard too. And in your conversations with them, have any of them expressed any sadness about Diddy's situation, or perhaps wanting to reconnect with him or go and visit him and either get shit off their chest to him now, or maybe do more business?
Well, everybody walk in different spaces in their life, so everybody got different feelings, right? Like people, if you go online, you on YouTube, you could search, you could see Fred talking this shit, Dylan, Ness, all of them has expressed how they feel. Day 26, they did interviews expressing how they feel. Aubrey O'Day been talking for years. So they're out there expressing how they feel. Some people are upset. Some people, they taking the L's on the chin and decided to keep moving. So everybody got all these different emotions. But I'm working on getting everybody together, because that's one thing to this day, we all haven't been in the same space with each other. So I'm working on putting that together. And I'm going to be making some announcements soon, because, I am, first of all, let me tell y'all, I'm an independent filmmaker. That's what I have merged over to. And so I'm putting this together for the fans, the supporters over the years that want to know what's going on. And so I'm going to need the support from the people to help me get this off the ground. But that is the goal, to get everybody in the same space.
I love this. I really love this for you. And I feel like you were in that house for this very outcome and for this very day. I hope, my wish is that you do a making of this reunion and whatever the project's going to be. Please get all the footage. I want to see niggas pulling up for the first time and the interaction. I did that with 90s Girls. When we first came to do our first concert, I got all the footage of us pulling up. Some girls didn't even know each other through all these years. So please get all of the.
Yes, Jonesy, I need all of that footage. But its history needs to be made again. We don't, if you look at the show, Diddy, he was the label. But if you really look at the show, he wasn't really in the show that much. It was us. You know what I'm saying? We were real artists. Like, we really went out there and performed and did music. I didn't have no writers. I wrote all my shit. Like, that is my intellectual property. So that was really me. I was an artist before making the band. I was on the road. I was doing shows. I was in the studio. Shout out to Granddaddy IU. Rest in peace to him, because he was helping me push my music and get my stuff off the ground. So this was my real life. It wasn't like, I came on this show because reality TV was brand new back then. It wasn't like it is today. We didn't know what we was walking into besides we're going to get a deal on Bad Boy. I went to get a deal on Bad Boy. I didn't go to be on reality TV.
So in hindsight, and I'm watching all these documentaries now coming out, like America's Next Top Model. Do you feel like your experience mirrored that? And if so, does it mirror it just because y'all were the first of those type shows? Or do you think that this is the core of the modeling business, the music business?
I think that making a band was different from any of these shows. If anything, I'm going to compare to America's Top Model would be our first season, because our first season was a competition format. Like America's Next Top Model, they had 20-something seasons, but each season was a competition throughout the whole season, and it was one girl standing. We only competed the first season. Once we made the band, it was up. We was recording the album. We was on the road. We doing interviews. Like, we outside. It was not competing for second season, third season. So I can't compare nothing but that first season. I know what that feels like, to be put in a space with all of these people and competing for your spot. But, we was different because they was picking 6 people instead of 1. So I got a chance to get up in that spot. And what was different from us is that it was guys and girls. I wasn't in a girl group. I wasn't in a house full of women. I was in a house with women and men.
I'm glad that you still have the relationships with everybody, because some of them have had very complicated lives since they left the band. Has anybody ever reached out to you during those years for help, if not financial, just like spiritual, like, how did you readjust, or what are you doing, or what do we do now?
Yeah, like I'm always checking on everybody mental. It's something that all of us went through. Only us that went through it could truly understand it. Hence the reason why I decided to do this documentary, because it's different from me sitting with you, Jonesy, and I could tell you what happened. You wasn't there. You can't combat what I'm saying. You can't be like, oh, remember that time, spark up a memory. Like, when I'm not talking to my band members, it's a conversation rather than a interview, right? So we have these deep conversations. We all have to check on each other mental. Everybody's walking around with some type of PTSD. Like, even though it's years later, but it was not something that we could get away from because it's always there in our face. You know, I think for me, it was different. I'm from New York City. So, you know, me being from New York, I'm just hard. You know, I'm from Brooklyn. I'm hard. I got to grind. I got to get it. And regardless of what happens, I got to get up and keep pushing. That's just all that I know. But they weren't raised in the town. They're not from New York. Not saying people from other towns is not strong, but everything was there for me. I'm in the Mecca. I could go to the radio station. I could pull up on the DJs. I could go to the club. Everybody's in New York. So it was different for me to be able to keep pushing.
That's ethic. That was New York work ethic. We're used to getting it from the mud. That's what I mean when I say you're the first, in my opinion, the first girl that looked like us around our age that got on TV that made something out of the mud.
Yeah, I did that. Shout out to me. Shout out to me.
Real talk. You didn't have at first. We know. You got it from the mud, and that's why this crown is yours when I see you. And listen, people want to know how they can support you. So do you have a Cash App, a Zelle, a Venmo, or anything?
Yeah, I do have Cash App. My Cash App is Brooklyn Bad 718. That is my Cash App. But you can also support me by following me. You know, my social media is Brooklyn Bad. Please follow me. My YouTube is at Brooklyn Bad 1718. Subscribe because I want to start going live. I want to follow in the footsteps of Miss Jones. I was doing a live show before and it did great, but it's time for me to do it myself. And you know, hopefully I could get some tips and you know, some wisdom from Miss Jones to know how to move in this lane over here. But I want to talk to the people too. And so just follow me. That's support for me. But you know, if you want to support me with some cash, that's always good too. But the love and the following is nothing better than that. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm working with AI. I do this short called Beeper Days. If you follow my Instagram, I already put out episode 3, and you know, just follow what I'm doing and support whatever I'm doing, and that's enough for me, really.
And is there no more Queen of the Ring, or are you gonna tell us what's going on?
Oh yes, Queen of the Ring is still there. I took a break to work on these documentaries. I'm actually dropping the first documentary about Queen of the Ring and my prom night event that I do every other year. Well, if y'all don't know, I have an all-female battle league called Queen of the Ring. It was the first all-female battle league ever in the world, and the #1 female battle league in the world. I've been doing it for over a decade. I done changed lives, made history, put chicks on. Your favorite battle rapper, if she's a female, she definitely came from my platform. And so I'm going to continue to put the girls on. The next event won't be until later on this year. But like I said, if you follow me, then you know you'll be in tune and you'll see when I'm coming back outside to put on for the girls. But I've been giving it up for the ladies for over a decade now. So that's what I've been doing as well.
I love this for you. And this whole space, I haven't mastered it. Honestly, when you were doing bacon, egg, and cheese, you guys were my inspiration because I had been home and I didn't know how to enter in. So we could exchange ideas. But I want to ask you, I'm relaunching with a big machine behind me. I'm relaunching Pink Champs. Would you be my first guest?
Yes, Jonesy, I want to be your first guest. And when you get a co-host, holler at me too. Because, girl, if I could co-host a show with Miss Jones, listen, y'all, closed mouths don't get fed. So you just got to put things in the universe, right? So I'm putting this in the universe. So I'm going to come on as a guest, but I'm going to do my one too. So they might be like, yo, Jonesy, you and Babs would be the shit together, right? And then I could be a co-host.
I love that. I am not opposed to that. I don't play well with others, but you probably don't either. So we might be a thing. We might be a motherfucking blueprint, bitch.
Listen, bitch, it's about respect because I don't really play well with others if they don't have respect. I have respect for you, Jones, and I also know that what we will be doing is what we will be doing. I will never lose respect for you. You are the GOAT. So I feel like because of my respect for you, we will be okay.
I agree. All right, so we'll get this thing moving off the scenes. But right now, and thank you for even wanting to be a co-host. That's a great idea. We're gonna do it. Let's, and we're gonna also do it here. But I want to save you for my pink champs and call me if I can ever be support, a marketing tool, a sisterly ear. Because I'm a vault. I don't be telling. That's how I've laughed at this morning.
Yes. I definitely need to have this sister conversation with you for real. So I said I'm going to hit you off this live. But before I go, I just want to tell everybody thanks for the support, not only for me, but supporting Miss Jones. Like, she giving me a crown for me, but I'm going to always give her flowers. She paved the way for a lot of people that's in the lane that she's in. And so for her to even talk to me is amazing to me. I don't care how she feel about it. Like, girl, please, that's just how I feel because I have that level of respect. I was listening to her. I was watching her before radio when she was singing, okay? So at the end of the day, I love Miss Jones, and I thank y'all for loving her too and getting up in the morning and support her and share the live, do all of that. Tell everybody to come outside because the GOAT is outside, okay? Let them know the GOAT is outside.
Thank you, Babs. I respect you and I love you and I appreciate you. And I know you got to go, but this is always your home. Thank you for sharing with us this morning. And we're going to follow you on all things.
Yes, follow me, y'all. Brooklyn Babs. I'm outside, y'all. We be in touch soon. And Jones, I'm going to hit you later.
Yes. Brooklyn Babs.
I let people see that, and that, like I said, in that video, a lot of people take it. I don't want y'all to take that message wrong because it's not, to me, it's not about, how it came. It's just about being peaceful. No matter how anybody come at you, this day and age, man, not being racist, but white people gonna come at you in so many ways. You got to throw the same thing back at him. That's why when he said I was a drug dealer, well, shit, you look like you sell cocaine. I can't tell you sell cocaine, but you tell me I look like a drug dealer, you look like you sell cocaine. So if it ain't me getting paid to fight, or it ain't, me in the ring or showing my skills, I don't like to waste my time on people. The thing about America and people and blacks, whites, everybody's gonna talk.
Yeah.
It's up to you how you respond to it.
A lot of grown black men, the level of maturity and restraint that you showed in those moments, because it wasn't a quick moment. That man kept on digging and coming closer to you and just not reading the room. You are an example of grown man behavior.
Hi, beautiful. Look at you, cute girl. Jesus, I then ran in from the gym. I was like, oh, let me get the wig. Let me put on the hat so I ain't got to shift it any kind of way. So
I appreciate you going through all of that for us. And I love your discipline, girl. You be in that gym.
Listen, I ain't got no choice. I got to either stay in the gym or go fight people physically.
But
so I'm not getting deployed. I'm not getting deployed to the war. No.
You know what? I never asked you anything about yourself. Are you married?
No.
Are you dating?
Married. Yes, but it's really ghetto. Really ghetto. So
ghetto can be good and exciting. Has it been a long ghetto?
Yes, some strategically. I am very big on mental health and my peace, and I will take long breaks from dating because energies.
Yeah.
So, but when it happens, it's gonna happen. But right now, like you can't come in disturbing my peace. Not at
Yeah.
all.
Do you find that a lot of the same people are attracted to you?
Oh, it's a mixture. The ones that approach me are the ones that are the typical confident, and it's always the entrepreneurs, the ones that got to sell themselves anyway. So those are the ones that typically are not afraid to approach. The ones that are afraid to approach are the ones that typically are the 9 to 5s, the professionals, those kind of individuals. So it's a mixture, but the ones that are bold enough and have confidence are the ones that typically are entrepreneurs.
And are they the ones struggling with the mental health?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because when you are an entrepreneur, you don't have a lot of set structure. So when you come in, when a person who is an entrepreneur that really don't play about their mental health and their peace, it's definitely a stickler because some people don't know how to properly communicate. They don't even know who they are. So how can you expect somebody to know how to actually treat you when they don't even know how to treat themselves?
That's a gem. That's a gem. So do you think that social media plays a role in it too, and that the rules have slackened up as to courting?
Yes. And I would say this from a professional standpoint. Men typically think that we have it all put together. We don't need. So when they come in and they get the sense of, oh, these women are very much self-sufficient, where do I fit in the equation? The same way you fit in the equation with the Instagram thoughts that you courted and you ain't had no problem opening doors and opening your wallet and doing all the things that men are accustomed to doing. Don't just think just because a woman has it or you don't think they need it that you get to relax. So they come very relaxed.
Do they think that you're what do they call it? That you have too much mouth? Do you find that to be said about you often?
They think that I do, but when they come in, I compromise, I listen. I am very much so the traditional submissive woman. However, if you don't know how to handle, because a lot of men say, well, I want you to be submissive. I want a submissive woman. I don't want, and when you get it, you don't even know how to handle it because they feel like, oh, she's in this dominant profession. She's going, no, I don't come home to argue. I don't even want to talk about the law when I'm at home. I like to be one with each other. Let's talk about other things because if you want to talk about something that I've been arguing all day over, you got to go too because they always want some type of advice. I'm done with the advice today. You give me some advice. You the leader. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. That's interesting. I think it's just so fascinating that you're an attorney, but you're also I feel like a Southern girl.
Oh, yes. Very much Southern.
And still like our home girl. You know what I mean?
Yes. It's like the best of both. It's the best of both worlds or all worlds. And that's one of the things that my exes have a hard time detaching from because when I take them from the relationship to the friend zone, they don't know how to adjust, and that's not my problem. You have been you have left the chat. You're no longer in the chat. But that's also how I developed single-in-law. We are still pitching this reality show to show the real side of lawyers, because people think that we are, just these structured and these fool. No, we are the home girl. We just know how to go into court and be the court's home girl and know how to get what we want. But when we come home, we are very much soft, but men don't know how to switch because they have this perception. And I'm not in the game of changing your perception. So, your perspective, you better go to a therapist to do that because
right. You're the lawyer, not the doctor.
At all.
Wow, I love to see it. I love to see it. They were asking about you. They have been asking.
They have.
She's been busy.
Sorry,
She's a lawyer.
Sorry, y'all. But I promise the schedule is getting more flexible, and when things happen, like people get into a crisis, you're like, okay, I'm the point of contact and I know what to do. And you know, when people like, oh, I don't know, calm down. I got you. She looks like she will cut you off. Oh, and sue you and get away with Now, Billy, let me tell you something. I've had to sue an ex. My high school sweetheart, I had to take him to court, and I won.
What?
Because my mom put him on a cell phone plan when we was in college, and when I broke up with him, he took it out on my mom's cell phone plan. I said, I'm gonna pay it because it's my mama, but yeah, we went to court, and he had to pay.
Okay.
So I don't like to sue my the people that I'm in a relationship with, but if you nuck, I'm gonna buck. Sure is.
Well, listen, I asked you to come on today. I'm the queen of, well, I don't want to say the queen of suing friends, but I had to sue a college roommate for storing my things in her apartment, knowing good and well that she was being evicted. And we're home in New York, and that was Syracuse, and they threw all of our shit out on the street, and I lost all of my things.
No, we going to court.
Yeah, so do the right thing, and we don't have to wind up there.
Yeah, like what's her name? Misa tried to do Mary J. Blige, and yeah.
So since you brought that up, what are your thoughts on that? Because I kind of feel like Mary always gets in these relationships with men and lets them control her, and then she, in my opinion, loses a little bit of herself each time. And this time it happened to involve her friendship with Misa. And she knew that was Misa's artist. And you just can't, because you like this guy you with and he sees a shiny toy, you can't just snatch it off your friend's shelf because you happen to be in her house because you're her friend and give it to him.
You know, I have mixed feelings about it. Because on one side, I think that celebrities have a different way of how they operate. And I think people merge friendship and business together too much in an industry that is all about business. They will cut you and then show up to your party and drink your food eat your food and drink your wine and then be like, oh, we cool again. No, but you don't ever think that friendship should not be a reason to go and get what's rightfully yours. However, I do think Misa, how do I say this? I don't like her approach. I didn't like her approach. I felt like she was doing it to be messy. I don't think she was doing it to seek anything because ultimately it was dismissed. So if you're doing this to try to smear a name, we all take L's. We all take L's. That man was no value. He lost his value. So you are going after a friend based off of someone that does not even have the value that they once possessed, or even if they possessed it at that time. I'm not going to waste my time going after a so-called friend. I would let that friend go. I would take that L and I would keep it moving. I just felt like she moved a little grimy in this by trying to bring it to the public opinion court, and it backfired on her because everybody loves Mary J. And you are doing this at a time when your baby dad is in court and they see you going up there to support what people think is a predator. It backfired, and I don't feel bad for her.
Okay. All right. You don't know this because you probably don't know me, but everybody don't love Mary over here.
And that's the thing. And I think
Mary stole my whole shit coming out as recording artist. She stole my whole.
Listen.
So
and that's the thing. The public opinion court has its own perception because we don't know the back side of things. That's why you have to be very strategic in how you maneuver with people that have so much public love. 50 Cent, people don't too much care for him where y'all are. But to the world, they think he funny as fuck.
Oh,
but
we love him.
But they don't understand what he's doing, what he has done in the past to certain people that has caused them to have such a distaste. But to the world, like, oh, this is so
Right.
you have to, the strategy about crisis and how to handle people that are behind the scenes very demented is very strategic. You got to know when to move, how to move, and how to actually plant it. You can't plant it at the wrong time because it will never land.
And it doesn't mean that she's not right, but
Exactly.
timing and perception
yes,
is everything. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. They said they want to know, have you ever dated someone whose case you were assigned to?
Hell no. Hell no. I've never dated anyone that, hell no, because client, I don't date people who try to do business. I am strictly personal. Like if it's a personal relationship, that's different. But if you come in trying to do business and then try to date me, that's a no. If I'm paying for a service and you try to date me, that's a hell no. If you assigned to, that is the absolute no. If you are a former client, that's the absolute no. So it's very strict over here.
Okay. I love that you are self-aware. You know what you want. At least now you know what you want. And you know that'll probably change as you change. But for now, what the woman that got dragged out of her car that was driving her 15-year-old son to get a haircut. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, that's actually up the street from me. Hearst is up the street from me.
Can you please explain why that case was dismissed, or not dismissed, but it was found unfounded and they closed it up?
So the officer, she filed a complaint, which is the proper steps to take in order to hold an officer accountable for excessive force and constitutional violations. This particular police department has a history of discrimination and being very biased towards minorities. So even though she did the proper steps, you can also predict how they're going to respond. It's not uncommon for this agency to do so. And with hiring a civil rights attorney, you just want to make sure that you've done the proper steps and you are continuing to take every avenue afforded to you. So with him with the department deciding not to investigate the officer for an internal affairs violation, now you have opened up your ability to seek justice elsewhere. So that's the reason why she hired Lee Merritt, and they're going to pursue it on the federal level. But it steps to that because outside of that, she don't have to necessarily just depend on the agency. You have the Texas Rangers that you can submit it to. You have the authority of the Attorney General's office that you can submit it to. You also have the local district attorney's office that you can submit it to. And what they don't understand in the state of Texas, under Section 52, which is in our is a statute and a code in criminal procedure, if all those entities decide that they are either going to conflict themselves out or they don't feel that there is probable cause based on his behavior, you can then submit your probable cause affidavit to a magistrate judge or a judge to have them investigate. So it's more avenues that a lot of the public don't know. No one knew that, if y'all don't want to do it, let me go to an actual judge that can execute this. And then now y'all have to investigate. And this person, if a judge finds that probable cause exists, then an arrest warrant should be following it to have them arrested.
Thank you so much for clarifying, because when we saw her talk about it, I was like, I would be way more distraught. But now I know that Lee Merrick is letting her know what you just let us know, that it ain't over, baby.
Yeah, it ain't over. It ain't over. And a federal lawsuit, what we know about this particular case in the state of Texas, littering, and when somebody litters that are loitering, that's a citation. That's not an arrestable offense. And his policies and procedures also state the way that she can she can reject the acceptance of a ticket. She can also reject taking a physical copy of said ticket. An officer, once a citator don't receive or decide that they're going to reject how that information comes to them, is already in the system. They know that they are subjected to a fine.
Right.
They can't avoid that. So when you decide that you're going to throw it in her car, you violated officer policy and your department's policy. You cannot do that. You are supposed to leave. And if he would have left like he was supposed to, none of that would have happened.
But his ego, just like the guy that shot the lady in Minneapolis, it was the ego because the wife told him to fuck off. And then he said, bitch. Yes, the ego.
It's always the ego. But I think a lot of people have to understand that patience is what is going to be required when things like this happen. You want the public to be aware, but you also want to understand that patience is going to be required, because justice will be afforded. It's just not going to be an instant. It's not instant.
Okay. As long as we know, we're going to watch, because that's us. They were like, that reminded me of you. You always taking your 17-year-old son somewhere, or they're going somewhere. So that was me. And then to hear her talk, I'm like, yeah, that's definitely our kind of people. They want to know if you heard about the nursing home rape in California with the lady that had dementia.
Oh yeah. That's the nursing. It's been 2 years, I believe. I think it happened back in 2023. So it's going on 3 years. There is no reason why the district attorney's office within that county has not prosecuted this individual. And the allegations are that they are withholding the prosecution because they are afraid that more things like this happen. The only reason why we know is because her daughter was smart enough to put cameras inside of her mother's room, because for safety reasons, to keep an eye on her mother, things like that, in which you are allowed to do so in nursing homes. You are allowed to do so. So if we didn't have that video, he probably continued to do so.
Yeah. So
not only is that location going to be held liable in the civil aspect of it all, I don't know if they've settled yet, but they're also going to be liable. I mean, the individual who has been charged is going to be held criminally responsible. This delay is a problem. That's why when people don't understand district attorney's office, when a DA is up for re-election, that is the most powerful person within your county. You want someone that is going to do what justice demands. Delayed justice is not justice. Delayed justice is continuing to traumatize victims and also wrongfully accused. So it's a double-edged sword. But this individual who was elected is not doing their job, and people like that have to go.
Are the people speaking out and rallying against the prosecutor or the DA?
It just started to pick up steam. So I think I saw it about a week or two ago. So it just started to pick up steam, but it is something that requires, one, when you have an attorney that's on the civil right or the civil side, you should also want this attorney to have resources that is going to bring this to the forefront, because it just can't happen in the courtroom. Yes, the courtroom is where everything is going to be laid out on the table, but you want to make sure the media and platforms is aware of what's going on, so that the pressure can be applied appropriately, so that delays like this cannot continue to happen.
Facts. The COVID vaccine being a known scam now, will there be a chance for us to file a class action lawsuit?
Listen, Trump, I feel like the Trump and that the PD files unfortunately did this to keep us from the first initiative of the Epstein.
Okay.
If you notice, Epstein was unalived in August. Right after, we have the new information that documents started to be purged and trashed. Then we get the first notification that a corona issue started at the end of October going into November. December cases started to show up. By January, people started to have these effects. We had people who are getting sick prior to it actually becoming a thing. And now that this particular week, especially, we are 6 years removed from when we officially shut down.
Yep.
So, to me, these viruses are controlled in laboratories. The only way things like this can get out if it is brought out by individuals that have care, custody, and control. I wholeheartedly feel, in my opinion, this was another effort for the noise surrounding the massive corruption and the massive trafficking and assaults of young women and young girls at the hands of the former president at that time, which is the current sick president. It all aligned. It all lined up to take the focus off of that and redirect it to continue to cover up the scheme and the scam. But hey, let me tell you something about God. God does not delay. He shows up right on time. And he shows up in a way that you can't deny what is going to come out anyway.
So what do you think the outcome, the final outcome of this is going to be? Or are we going to be stuck with him for the duration of his term? Have they corrupted? They're talking about having ICE at the polling booths. Do you think that we're going to be stuck with him? Or do you think that we'll get power of the House and the Senate and be able to impeach him?
We're definitely getting power up both of the House and the Senate. I wholeheartedly believe that. We're seeing yesterday with the election in Florida, we flipped 2 Republican strongholds in a special election. That is one is Mar-a-Lago's base. It is where Mar-a-Lago is located. So the whole SAVE Act is focused around reducing the amount of people that can actually vote. However, what they're seeing is majority of Republicans don't have a passport. A majority of the people that voted for this sick monster don't have the proper documentation. So hopefully the Senate does the right thing and bypass that. That's why he's holding out on the TSA agents in order to flush them out, so that he can bring in the private entities that they have put on the Project 2025. This is all a plan that they have aligned. So when we get to November and we have this massive shift, they're doing everything in their power to prevent it. But I want people to understand that we need to wait until he gets out of office to attempt to prosecute him. That way he has no power. He cannot pardon himself. He cannot pardon his friends. And it's a free and clear lane. And I will bring back Jack Smith into the mix. I will put him back in that seat so that we can finally get the justice that this country demands by electing such a disgusting, deplorable, demented president into office. And also, the states have power. It's time for the state to actually prosecute, because they can't keep them from prosecuting them on the state level. So these Democratic states need to get in line, get information, investigate these pedophiles to see if they ever showed up in their city, their county, their towns, and bring charges, because you can get them on the state and the federal level, but the state is going to be the first slice at the apple.
Wow. All right. Look, I'm encouraged now. Thank you so much for. Yeah, you answered all the questions. No, and you leave me encouraged because I'm like, now they're cheating with the poll booths. Now they're gonna have ICE manned out, and nobody's gonna want to come out and vote. But maybe that's to the better because it seems like the Spanish people vote white anyway.
Listen, I don't. To anyone that is Spanish that is watching, this is not to you if you did not vote for him. The man has made it very clear that he don't like Latinas, he don't like the Spanish people, but he used them because the lack of fundamental understanding. The proximity to white with Latinas and Hispanics have severely fucked them up. And when you think somebody is for you and they show you on a second go round, no, a third go round because he lost the previous election. Well, he stole both, so it's not. He ain't never went. He is not a legitimate president in my eyes based on the law. Yeah. But you have to make sure when you are looking at the individuals that have voted for him, look how much damage they are receiving on the back end. There's always warning before destruction. They made a choice to not listen to their intuition and not listen to the God that they say they serve. Now, the God that they lied to saying that they serve is showing everyone that decided to defy the truth that this is what you get.
Will he be able to suspend the election because of the war?
He's attempting to, but you have to have
Congress. He was supposed to have Congress approval. Yeah, so how are we still at war? Why are the soldiers still listening to him and they have not gotten approval from Congress to even be fighting?
Listen, here's the thing. You got to look at the people who are still supporting him. There is people that's still in Congress that are in the files, that are named, that are identified. So it's not by shock to me that they are continuing to perpetuate this, the support of this criminal. But you're seeing slowly, for surely, you're seeing these individuals come to their senses because this is not the identity of the Republican Party. Trump brought these people in utilizing white fear. And this is something that Roland Martin has been on the trail of educating us about what white fear is.
Yes, he
has.
White
fear is to remind you because what they want to take that out of your short-term memory and they want to put it in your long-term memory. How you do that? You continue to push it and you continue to say it and you continue to broadcast it because you continue to do that. It's in your long-term memory, no longer in your short-term memory. That is what white fear has been doing and it projecting and has been successful to a certain extent. So I don't know what to tell y'all, but Black people always try to tell y'all what it is because we done been through it and it's still going through it, but we have such a resilience and we know how to overcome. That's why so many other minorities are in such a panic because they have never suffered at the hands of white fear.
That's the word. That's the only reason.
Only reason.
They see it Uno reversing to them now.
It is reversed and we are.
You need something from the store?
Girl, my nail broke. I'm going to the nail shop. We didn't bump. Oh, girl. Child, look at that. I know my ancestors up there like, y'all better sit this one out and show up where you are needed, not where they want you to show up. Because we got our own issues that we have to continue to build on a base that now with all of these media outlets that are now silencing the voices of minorities, we have a perfect opportunity to capitalize on it and build our own platforms like you're building. It is the perfect time because now that we've seen what Netflix and iHeart Radio, iHeart Media has messed up on some of these big platforms, it is the perfect time for Black and minority media to get in the field.
Yep. I totally agree. And sometimes you don't recognize it. You're like, what? Me? Okay, I'll leave. But then you're like, you know what? That's God working, because I know I'm a soldier and I know he made me a soldier. So
Exactly.
now it's time for me to soldier, and it feels a little uncomfortable at first because you used to getting that regular check.
Yep.
And even though you know you still are, you know, ultimately the contract gonna run out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it feels so good because I could never ever have someone like you come on that program and talk like this.
Listen, and it's so funny because that's one of the reasons why I love being on Roland's show. I'm a regular there on Monday nights because I get to utilize not only my book smarts, but where I come from in order to educate. When we talk like us, that's the reason why they have a problem with Jasmine, because she can relate. She does not talk over your head. She meets you right there so that you can understand it. And that's what they don't want. That's why certain platforms have gotten away from the minorities, because we meet you right there, because we are able to communicate in a way that they would never, because they've never learned the fundamentals of how to effectively communicate, because their way of communicating is trying to be a dictator. That's never going to be the status quo.
Nope. They want to tell you what to do, and that's it. Why? Because I'm white, I'm in charge, this is my country. And it's always going to be this way. Not no more.
It's not. No, that is over. That is dead. And if we are not taking advantage of that, that includes, we have to own our brands. We have to protect our brands. We have to have the structure. We have to have the right team. We have to collaborate. We have to work together, because when we bring each other on our platforms and we showcase who and what, that draws even more viewership and more people in to say, oh, I have this avenue, but I also have this avenue. Let me go check this one out. We have the market is so wide open that there is no reason why we cannot succeed.
There's no excuse.
None.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I love having you on. I hope you'll come back next week.
Yes, I will.
All right. Everybody.
This time. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you, sis.
You are
good day, everybody. My guest has arrived. See how God works? Just in time. You guys know her as the mother of Jim Jones from the Dipset. We know her from the community as good old Momma Jones Sunday Dinner. And she is here. Ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Now you can hear me.
Yes. Khadija did the mechanic stuff, whatever you got to do. Turn a Bluetooth and put the Wi-Fi on and all kinds. Girl.
I know. That's beyond our pay grade. I would never have been able to do it. I just went back to sleep. But I'm glad that you guys are here. Khadija, Momma Jones. Welcome to Jonesy.
Yes, thank you. I love my Jonesy.
I love my Momma Jones. And listen, I tell everybody the story of how when I was about to buy over in your area, I saw you walking your dog on the street. Remember that?
Yes.
I pulled up beside you and you looked at me and you didn't realize it was me, because why would I be in your town? You didn't even know that I had moved up there. But now I watch you, I follow you. I've come over for Sunday dinners.
Yes, ma'am.
It's not just a thing on social media. Like, she really throws down on Sundays and feeds the community, from the babies to the elders. And then most recently, I saw you traipsing around an island with a man nearly twice in the other way your age.
Yes. Yeah, that's my man. That's my boo.
Oh my God. Yeah. How did y'all meet? Is this real?
No, it's real. We met through Victor.
I don't know who Victor is, but
Victor is somebody I call my brother from another mother.
Okay.
And that's where he and me hanging out, having a good time, and he takes him as his nephew. He tell you in a minute as his nephew. And I needed my deck to be built. And he says, "Oh, I got the right person," because he built houses from ground up. And a lot of people think that he's a little boy. He's not. He's in his 40s, and uh, he's good. He's good at what he
Oh,
did.
oh, so he's not. He looks like he's in his 20s.
Yes, yeah.
So you guys had, what was your first conversation like?
Well, first of all, when he walked through my door, I said, "Oh God, I want that," and I prayed to God for that. And then I was serious about it because he came in to take the measurement of my deck and everything. I said, "Oh no, we are not going to do this. I cannot do no business with you. I have other intentions," and I meant what I said. You know what I'm saying? So that was that. And
Wow.
I got somebody else who built my deck. You know, he came back to see what was going on, what happened. And he said, "Oh man, this deck is not the way it's supposed to be," and the whole 9 yards. And then from then on, and then I was always going to Victor House, laughing and joke on the weekend, get away. He was there, and that it was perfect timing for me.
Nice. See, ladies, we all need decks built.
And it's like, look at my daughter. Who would believe my daughter is not getting ready to be 40? And she looks like she's like 20,
Right.
19, 18.
Yes,
But
I agree.
people out there, they look at him and they say, "Oh my God, Momma Jones is dating with the little boy," and all kinds of, and then they say that he's supposed to look like my son. He don't look like my son. So that was nasty of them for to even think anything like that.
That's
But
people. That's people just trying to be. Everybody on social media thinks that they have a voice now, or they can share an opinion just when you post pictures and stuff. That's why I don't like to put comments under people's names that I don't know, because
yeah,
I don't want you talking to me about my shit. So like, you're a
please, thank
stranger.
you. Thank you. And they don't even understand. I pays them no mind.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Good.
gonna do me all day, every day, until God say I can't no more. That's all.
Well, it looks good on you. The experience that you're having looks good.
Yes, it has me with a good feeling, a good glow, happy, you know, uh, sex good. So, and that's what I need the most, you know. So,
So sidestep to the sex.
yeah.
What do you have
And
going on? It was an event that you wanted me to co-host with you, and I wanted to.
yes, it's this. I'm doing a gala, okay. It's for Rags to Riches. This is my organization that I just started. Oh, you got it up there? Yeah, it's my organization I started from Rags to Riches. Um,
What is it about? What's Rags to
it's
Riches about?
all about battered women, abused kids, mental awareness. And what happened is that how I got into it is my sister from another mother named Teresa. She actually does the battered woman, the shelter, and the whole 9 yards, and she feeds the community. Um, very good, very good. And then I joined up with another lady from Warm. Her name is Stephanie. And the thing about it is that me watching and experiencing, seeing what they're going through, and just being there well, for the one for Teresa, when she had to turn down somebody because she can't get them into the shelter because it's too full. So it's scary for me to know that somebody get turned down, and now where they got to go, and then especially if they don't got the funds and the money, all the funds is gone to put them in a hotel. Now I went with the lady also to down at Warm, so that just so I could join with them, to let her know and give her experience of what I'm getting ready to do, and I happened to be there when this young lady came in with her mother suffered, and she was trying to get away. She didn't have the funds, and when she called the shelter, it was packed. So she had told her, "Well, come back, give her like an hour or something, like, that she was going to get the funds." I told her, I said, "Hey, I'll give you the funds." But what happened? It was too late. She went back to the person who was, and he killed her, and she was in the house there for 4 days dead. So that was it for me. And then the second one was when a young lady and her baby, running for their life. And they finally got it where she got the order protection, and she, trying to change her life and move on and do what she had to do. And the judge allowed it where he was able to still pick up the baby. Now, remember, she's a bad abused woman, but he was able to still have access to pick up his baby and supposed to be taking him out or spending the night out. So anyway, the baby, 2 years old, ended up dead. And they was fighting for him not to be taking the baby. And it's just scary. So I said, you know what? I'm going to see, by the grace of God, how God going to let me do this. But my God, anything I ask him within reason, he gives it to me. And I ask to have safe place, or you like a safe home for every woman that actually get turned away, that I can actually hold them until there's an opening for the shelter. I don't want to do no shelter, but I want to be able to, if there's no money for them to put them into a hotel, I can't save the whole world.
Right.
But I know if I have enough houses in different places, I want to start like Rochester, Middletown, down here in Jersey, New York, in these different places that I want to do this. It's because I don't want, like, somebody in Jersey got turned down. I'll take them, but I'll put them in Middletown. Okay.
Right.
Somebody in Middletown that got turned down, I'll take them and I'll put them in Jersey. Because I have to also to think about my life. I'm always taking in a lot of battered women and their kids and stuff. And then my kids and Khadija and them said, Mom, you got to stop. We understand you can't save the world, but you remember you're putting everybody else to in danger and yourself.
Right. And you don't really know these people that well.
No.
But I appreciate your heart, right? I appreciate your heart because sometimes your family members won't even help you, and they know you're battered, and they know you're running, and they know you need a place to stay. So for you, a stranger, to bring your whole family and get your whole family involved in saving others is just, it's
too much. It's too much. So,
but it's wonderful. Like it's such a blessing, an awareness of who you are. You know what I mean? And I don't know. Did the phone die? I was going to say, there's a lot of this. We actually had some stories this morning. A lot of this going on. We talked about the man that massacred 8 kids and one jumped out the window and got injured the other day. We put the picture up yesterday, I think it was. And then we talked about the lieutenant governor of Virginia yesterday that killed the wife. They were still staying in the same home, but they were no longer together. And she allowed him to stay so he could get on his feet. And then he killed her and then himself. And then all these stories just started surfacing. I will also share until our guests come back. Hopefully they'll come back.
She seemed to have gotten a phone call, I believe.
Okay. That when I was going through my situation, right? I thought, because it's the courts. It's the fucking courts. The courts treat, in my opinion, and it depends on if you're in like an area where it's Spanish and it's primarily Spanish judges, they treat their own differently than they treat others that don't look like them. They treat their own and white people up here, and anything black down there. I can't speak to how they treat Asians or Indians or any other ethnicity, but especially in Monmouth County, they treat black families and black family court issues like a monolith. They don't care. They think we're all baby moms. They think we're all trash, just laying on our backs, pushing out babies on welfare. That is what they think, and that is how they rule, and that is how they judge. And they don't treat each individual case with the merit it deserves. Okay, I was talking about, I was piggybacking off of what you were saying, and I was saying how there's a lot of these stories out in the news right now, and also how it's the judges. The judges are not paying attention and individualizing each case. And especially in white areas, they diminish the value of the black family, and they assume that we're all just pushing out a bunch of babies, that we're uneducated, that we're unemployed, and they don't give our cases and our lives the merit and the support that they deserve. So they're going to just go by the book and say both parents are supposed to have custody, so I'm gonna send the baby back.
And they shouldn't.
And they should be held responsible, and their licenses should be in jeopardy when they ignore the pleas of an abused person, whether it be the man being the victim or the woman being the victim of the outcome. They should be held accountable, especially when they will be warned by the primary parent of what that other parent is doing.
And especially when it got a child involved. I
Right.
feel if she's in protective, the child got to go in protective mode too. No matter what, I don't care what anybody say. Oh yes, oh but he loves his kid. No, listen, let me tell you something. If he can't get to her and beat her up and do what he want to do to her, guess who's the next victim? So that he can make her feel that
The pain. Yep. That probably didn't even source from her. That's some childhood shit. All of our trauma is based on things that happened in our childhood.
Yeah.
All right, there's a lot going on. I work in domestic violence, and as a manager of community engagement, I would love to talk about domestic violence. That would be a great topic to have one more. And sure, if you can email me at bookandjonesy@gmail.com, we'll set it up. Would love to have that conversation. My mom died to domestic violence in 1986 in Long Branch. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. So sorry.
So sorry.
And what happened to the kids? What happened to you kids, Bae? Because what share resources, talk about how to help someone who is a survivor. How, I don't know.
And I'm gonna let y'all put this up too, so this way, because I would like some survivors to actually come to my gala to speak. I think that this is a very serious thing. People don't understand. A lot of them get turned down because it's too full. They don't have. Then the organization don't have enough money to actually put them up in a hotel. But I can't be Captain Savior Ho. But if I do have all these different houses planted where it's supposed to be at, I might be able to save a life. And that's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make it easier.
And maybe we invite some grant writers, right?
Yes.
Because there are people that write lovely grant requests and they get the money. So maybe we target that instead of just asking people to make donations, because that could take forever.
Yes, and trust me.
Yeah, and we gotta
get that's what we're doing now with for the grants. Hell, I need the grants. I need the person. There's two people that already donated their house. One up in Middletown, and the other one is out here in Jersey. I got to get ready and go see about that in a few minutes. I'm right after I finish with you. This is why I'm doing this mainly. I'm gonna go check this out. I'm not playing. It hurts me just to know that these two lives right here, right now, are dead and gone. And I don't know them, but I felt every bit of it.
Right, because you know someone like them, and there's others like them out there that are there, want to leave, don't have the resources. It's real. We all can say, oh, just leave. But if you have nowhere to go, and especially if you have children, then you can't leave sometimes without letting the father know based on the laws in whatever your state is. You can't leave without telling the father where you're going. In some cases, you got to get permission to leave.
And it's sad because a lot of the kids get abused too at the same time because you're trying to protect your mother. So now what happens? Then the father turns on your behind, and then I'm not saying that there's no men out there that be abused too, because they have a few, but it's mainly the women that's getting the whole charade and the kids. So my thing is that I ask God. I say, God, if you can just give me a way where I can actually just plant each and every one of these houses in different spots, because I don't want it. I don't want it where a Jersey person don't have can't get into the shelter, and then, or if they can, then I'm gonna put them in my shelter. That's it. No, you're going. I just want you all to understand that everybody's going separate ways.
Right.
I mean, it's a safer way. You know what I'm saying? But now it's up to everybody to get in contact with me. I do know for a fact, they can definitely go through from rags to riches, the what you call the email, the Instagram.
Give us that. What is that?
Yeah. Okay, I have here, because I don't do all the all that good stuff. I have the website, which is www.ragstoricheswomen.org.
Is it rags TO or rags number
rags RAS, and then it's TO RI, riches, that was women.org. And then the Instagram is ragstoRiches.org. That's my Instagram. But yes, we started making our little services and stuff ready for where people can actually reach us. I don't have the phone number here because the girls and they do all the calling here, because this number here we had to change.
That's all right. So what you do is email me
I'll
the
get it to you.
flyer.
I'll email to you at flyer.
Actually, I have the flyer because you emailed it to me when you sent it to for the hosting.
Yeah.
I'll send it to my producer and he'll post it up here. And people, if you have gifts, not physical gifts, but grant writing gifts, I see Jay in here says that she writes grants. Please reach out and make the connection because while Momma Jones is definitely walking in her purpose and saving lives, she can't do it by herself, right?
Right.
And a lot of you are sitting on gifts that you don't even know that you're sitting on.
The hell on. This is what I tell people. I says, you know, and this is not just my organization. It's ours. It's me and my queens. I can't do this by myself. I don't know. People take a thing and say, "Oh, this is my organization," or how it's started go. But you fail to realize you have tools inside, and these are my tools. My beautiful queens. All of them. They do what they have to do to make it possible. I can't do computers. I don't do computers.
Me neither.
I'm not good in wording and talking, but each and every one of them have a gift. I don't have the ability. Two of them that graduated from college and stuff like that, but they degree for RN for sitting down for mental awareness. I mean, I got gifts in there that God had given to me that I need to actually do these different places, and I just want the ones out there to know that they're loving. You know, so those who's running. Trust you running into the right place. That's all I can say.
No, we feel your heart. And thank you for sharing it. I don't want this just to be a one-off. You know, you can always come here, talk, whatever you got going, and give us updates. Because
yes. But and well, one of the things I definitely want to make sure that May 30th is when we're doing the gala. Mm-hmm. You know, I'll definitely put up there where people can do their donations and stuff like that. I'll give all that to you. I'm just so angry that you can't come. Oh my God, Jonesy, because you're like everybody was talking about I'm the life of the party, but you're always the life of the party. So,
your parties be full of life before I even get there. I know I'm working for myself now, so I got to go where the coins are calling and they call, and I just was like, yep, I'll be there.
I'm not mad. I'm not even mad. I'm not mad at all. I'm just so happy and blessed.
Yeah, no, I will come. This is not a one-off. Like I said, I will come at other things.
Yes. And I just want you to know that it's a blessing for me to even come on the show. So this way I can get to spread to everybody. We're a new organization. We're doing it. We're making it by the grace of God. God said He helped those who help themselves, and I'm helping myself to actually make things happen so these women and children out here do not get hurt anymore or get turned away from the shelter and say, no, I don't care if they got to sleep on top of each other. You will not be turned away. That's a hurting thing. That's all I got to say. And Khadija, I think I already told her tell her the organization thing again. I just told her
we put the flyer up. Where's that, Kitty?
Okay, this is here. Where's your phone? Because she text it to you.
Yes. Sorry.
I love this flyer though. But this is why I want everybody to know it's not about a joke. This is serious. You know, I'm a serious person. I'm just not a person with doing computers and all this kind of good stuff. But this is why I got my daughter here next to me.
That's a lovely picture.
So she had it up too.
That's so cool.
No, I told her.
But you don't have to know it all. You don't have to be able to.
What she texted me. Oh, she's doing it now.
Oh, she got it now? Okay, there you go.
Yep.
Okay, so she got it.
We don't have to do everything. That's why God surrounds us with people. Everybody got their skill sets.
Yeah.
Now, on another note.
But I did say it. I like to say it out loud to the people then. It's a blessing. God is good. God is great. And God has been making movements. Definitely, when I say movement, Jonesy, I've been sitting down with some amazing peoples, and I'm not one person for the politics and stuff like that, but I know in order to get what I want, I have to rub a little elbow with them and stuff. And God has been good and put some really good people in my life so far that's actually here helping me make these movements. So
and that's
I
why
thank you for letting me come on.
Always, but that's why you'll be blessed because you're not getting anything from this. You're pouring in. And I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Because Khadija, why my phone keep messing me up?
Can you not hear me?
Let's go back in. Oh, you got a lot. Okay. Oh, she's saying bye.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Kim. Kim got the link right there. Thank you guys for your grace and your patience. I know that's a heavy topic for the morning. I see a few people dropped off, and that's fine. Go to your meetings. Go do what you got to do for you. I'm never that girl that's going to feel away. Oh, Diane Williams. A lot of love for Momma Jones. And try narrow. Yep, you definitely. I remember the emails. We just have not set up the time for you to come and talk about your organization and your works.